What is going on? Today on Dylan Talks Tone, we're going to talk, obviously, about guitar stuff. Let's talk a little bit about environment. So, this is my room. This is where I keep most of my guitars. If they're not here on the wall, they're also over here. We have like a stack of cases of, and there's guitars in there. So, when you are a guitar owner, you do as much as you can to keep them in a good environment, right? Like, because you want the setup to not move, you don't want the neck relief to move on you without your help. You don't want fret sprout. You don't want any of those kind of problems, right? So right over here, we have a little temperature dude, 71 degrees, 49% humidity, which is right around, it stays right around 50%. That's, with air conditioning and climate control, that is the norm. Like, we can keep it pretty close there, which is what I like to do. You can get one of these. I'll leave a link to this on Amazon. It's like super cheap, and just have one in every room because they're really cheap. I think they even come in sets of 2. So I'll leave a link for that. But it's not so easy if you want to do some traveling. If you want to take your guitar out to a gig, we've got the van here, and in Georgia, it's so humid outside that, as you can see, I come from inside to outside and the lens is fogging up. It's so humid. Not to mention the temperature inside the van. I don't know what it is right now, but I know during the day it gets 100 degrees. Obviously, you don't want to leave a guitar in there, but even traveling, it gets a little iffy. I don't really want to take my, really good rosewood, spruce, acoustic guitar places that, or even electric guitars sometimes. Your little electric guitars are not that big a deal. They'll pretty much hold up. But man, those acoustic ones especially. So, I have a solution. The solution is, why limit yourself to wood? And why not have a dedicated guitar for travel? Right? I lived in a motorhome for 2 years on the road with a real acoustic guitar, and it was iffy. I ended up leaving it at home and getting a carbon fiber guitar. Now, you all know, if you follow the channel for any length of time, you'll know that I am a McPherson fan. I have 2 of them. I have their touring version, which is the smaller one, and I have the Sable, which is their bigger one. This, for those of you who don't want to spend quite as much as a McPherson, is the travel size Cloos carbon fiber guitar. This is a really, really cool thing. But this is small. It sounds like a small guitar. It's really cool. I love it. It lives in the living room. I play it every day. It's awesome. But what if you want this kind of flexibility, not on a McPherson budget, but you want a full-size acoustic travel carbon fiber guitar? Klos has a full-size acoustic guitar as well. And that's this right here. Before we get into the details of this guitar, I want to thank our Patreon supporters as well as our YouTube members, the folks that have hit the little join button down there. That's what makes reviews like this possible. Now, Klos did send me this guitar for review, but most of the time I use Patreon dollars to buy guitars and products for review because besides Klos, there aren't that many people that send me free stuff. So thank you, Klos, for sending us this guitar. I will say, in full transparency, they sent me this one and the little one. However, if they send me another one, I have to send one of these back. I don't get to keep this or anything. So just so you know, this isn't like here you get a bunch of free carbon fiber guitars. I actually have to kind of swap them out and whatever. So just for review purposes. Just FYI for the transparency of all of that. But thank you to my Patreon supporters who make this channel keep going. So, what is this thing? Well, it is a 100% carbon fiber acoustic guitar for right at $2,000. This one has a pickup put in it, and it's an interesting thing. It's 24 3/4 scale, so it's full scale. The top is an interesting. It's their own thing. It's two pieces of carbon fiber, it looks like, with some sort of substance in the middle of it to give it a really nice vibrational feel and tone. It's got a one-piece full carbon fiber back. That's really cool. It's got a bolt-on neck, which we'll get into in just a minute. This particular one has a Fishman pickup in it, which we'll hear in a few minutes. Now, let's get into a couple of the interesting things that make this guitar actually a usable tool for what we want to use it for. First of all, let's talk about this goofy looking peg head. Now, at first, when I saw this on the travel guitar, I thought it was kind of dumb. But it makes total sense because it doesn't need to be any bigger than it is to function properly. And the idea is to keep it small so that you can travel with it, so that it takes less room once this thing is packed down in an overhead compartment, or if you put it in the back seat of your car, or if it's in a particular spot while you're traveling. Smaller is better because it's a full scale 24 3/4 like we said, but the guitar is actually physically shorter because of the smaller peg head. So in application to serve the purpose, it makes total sense. The reason the neck is bolted on is because you can actually, with the included capo, take these screws off, put it in the little pouch, put the neck down next to it, leave the strings on the guitar, and actually pack this down into a regular backpack sized thing. So you don't have to put it in a full size gig bag. Now, I personally don't do that because that's not how I travel. But if you were the kind of person that needed to take the neck off, put it down next to itself, and have a guitar that was only the size of a regular backpack, throw it in an overhead compartment under the seat in front of you, I think it would fit in there. This would work, and this would be, and then you put it all together, put the screws back in with all the included tools. You don't need to bring anything extra. It comes in a little pouch in the backpack, and boom, you have a full-size guitar with you. As far as the rest of the functionality of the guitar, the nickel frets are really nice. I like the dots on the face. It has a graphite nut. It has a graphite saddle. It has some sort of, this isn't Richlight. They told me it's a different brand. I don't know what it is. It's their proprietary stuff, but it's like a Richlight sort of material with the fretboard and the bridge. So I'm probably doing something wrong by saying that brand name with this because that's not what it is, but whatever. I can't remember the name of it, so whatever. Anyway, it's that type of material anyway. And it looks awesome. It feels awesome. And honestly, it sounds great. It's got your normal pins, like a normal acoustic guitar. Everything feels really normal. We've got this carbon fiber neck. Now, this guitar is also available, if you are so inclined, to have a carbon fiber body with a wooden neck. That is an option that you can choose on the website. The other thing that you can choose on the website is which pickup you want in the guitar, and also there's a nylon conversion. So not very many nylon string guitars are available, but you can actually convert this. Not when you have the guitar, when you order the guitar, you can order it as a nylon string guitar, which is very interesting. here's the thing. I know that there's going to be a bunch of people in the comments who are going to say, that doesn't sound like wood. That sounds like crap. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I hear you. I do hear you. But guess what? It's not wood. It's going to sound different, which I think is really neat. There are guitars that are not wood that do really try to step above and beyond and sound exactly like wood. The McPherson is an example, but that guitar is also $1,600 more than this. It's in a completely different realm, which leads me to my next point in the comments. People are going to want me to do a comparison video between this guitar and the McPherson. We may do that, but not in this video, because this guitar, I believe, stands on its own for its own purpose. They can be used the same, yes, but not in the same budget. This is a completely different budget scenario than the McPherson. It's a completely different construction. It's a completely different use case. The neck that comes off into the backpack, all that sort of stuff. This thing is made for travel. And of course you can travel with any carbon fiber guitar, but this one in particular is designed that way, and it's actually marketed that way. When you go on their website, they talk to you about this thing is, you can use it between -40 degrees and 180 degrees Fahrenheit, and it will stay stable. It stays in tune. Now, there are a bunch of other cheap carbon fiber guitars that are on the market. I'm not going to mention names, but I have had some of them in here for review. And let me tell you that I know that there are some instability issues with those guitars. There are some tuning stability issues with those guitars in the long term. Now, you will hear this in various videos, you'll hear in various reviews, oh, you know, the guitar's cool. But long term, I've been keeping track, and there are various stability issues that this guitar does not have. I mean, you can play this thing or not play this thing, just leave it. I've left it in the backseat of my car on purpose. We've left it in the van on purpose. With the small one, we've traveled all over the country with it. Now, I've not been able to travel with this particular guitar, but with the smaller version, I have. We took it out to Colorado. We left it in the desert. We left it in very humid stuff. We've done a lot of traveling with the small one. This guitar I've left in the car on purpose. Like I said, it's 104 degrees here yesterday in Georgia. With a heat index of like 109 or something like that because of the humidity. 100% stable, always in tune, does the thing it's supposed to do, and it's really fun to play. What if you say, I'm not a person who travels a lot? Well, I like this guitar not for the travel version of it. I like it because it just does everything well. You just throw it next to the couch and it's always in tune for you. More or less. I mean, you know, once your strings start to wear out and stuff, that's a thing. But it does what it's supposed to do. You just pick it up and you just play it. I find it very comfortable to play. I find it to be this one and the smaller one. Actually, let's just say, in the living room, I have 4 carbon fiber guitars. Both of my McPhersons and both of my Closes. There are no wood guitars and there are no electric guitars. These are the guitars that I play while I'm sitting there watching Formula One, fittingly enough, while I'm sitting there looking at YouTube, while I'm doing whatever. These are the guitars that I pick up and play. Why? No headache, no worry about setup, none of that kind of stuff. Once the guitar's set up, it's just like that, and there's just no worries. It just makes it kind of nice. Does it sound different than my rosewood back in size spruce top breedlove that cost $3,000? Yes, it does. But that's okay, because this is neat. This thing sounds really cool, and I really like it. For all you naysayers that say that thing sounds like plastic, that thing sounds like cheap, you know, I can't control the fact that you have an opinion based on 70 years of history and aren't willing to look at new and cool stuff. For the rest of us who are looking for a solution to a problem, who are looking for something new and cool, and are willing to accept change in 2023, and to look at innovation and where it's coming and going, I think carbon fiber is a fantastic material. I think that due to its stability, It's still spendy. It is not cheap, right? So you have to be willing to be an adopter of the technology. But I am in general. I'm a cyclist. I love Formula One. I love carbon fiber knives with carbon fiber handles. I love all that stuff. I think it's really, really cool. This is a really neat guitar, and I think you should definitely check it out. There is a link in the description. I think we have an affiliate link down there. I think. Even if we don't, still click on it anyway and check it out. Close would appreciate it if you would do that, and at least check out their stuff. Go to their website. Even if you're not going to buy the thing, just click through, check it out, and see what you think of all of the different options, because we have more videos coming with them, because there's something else very cool coming, and I want to tell you about it, but not today. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. You guys have been awesome. Do me a favor, hit the like and the subscribe button if you like guitar stuff. I know that the carbon fiber guitar videos don't do very well, but I don't care, because I think they're fun and I love them. I love this stuff. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you in the next video.